Trump welcomes first African leader, Nigeria's president, to his White House while Nigeria seeks closer military and security ties with the U.S. It can't overlook the difficult moments since Trump came to power. President Donald Trump meets with Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari in the Oval Office of the White House, Monday, April 30, 2018. In Washington, after more than a year in office, President Donald Trump for the first time welcomed an African president at the White House. The meeting with Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday comes after an uncomfortable start to the Trump administration's approach to the world's second most populous continent. Security and economic issues topped the agenda for the bilateral meeting and working lunch. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with almost 200 million people, is the largest economy on the continent and the leading crude oil exporter, and both leaders emphasized their ties on economic and security issues. One thing that didn't come up during their meeting, however, was Trump's inflammatory comments in June, when he caused anger in Nigeria by reportedly saying Nigerians wouldn't want to return to their huts if allowed to visit the U.S. A Democratic aide told NBC News at the time that Trump also referred to African nations and Haiti as shithole countries during a meeting with a group of senators at the White House. Asked if he brought the comments up during the meeting, Buhari told reporters during a joint news conference that he isn't sure about the validity of whether that allegation against the president was true or not. So the best thing for me is to keep quiet, without denying making the comments. Trump confirmed that they weren't discussed and said he appreciated that Buhari didn't bring them up. You do have some countries that are in very bad shape and very tough places to live in, but we didn't discuss it because the president knows me and he knows where I am coming from. And I appreciate that, Trump said. The comment wasn't the Trump administration's only difficult moment with Nigeria. Trump fired former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson just hours after Tillerson came to Nigeria on the highest-level U.S. visit to Africa since Trump took office. In December, Nigeria and several other African countries that are traditionally friendly with the U.S. at the UN General Assembly voted to condemn Trump's controversial decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And in January, Nigeria was one of a number of outraged African countries to summon the U.S. ambassador to explain Trump's reported vulgar remarks likening the continent to a filthy toilet. Such utterances have left Trump with a low rating among many Nigerians, though some in the country with a sometimes tense Muslim-Christian divide have said they support the U.S. president's wary stance on Muslim immigrants, notably his administration's travel ban. The stricter immigration policies, however, also make it more difficult for many Nigerians to travel to the U.S. Doing nothing to give Trump a positive perception in a country where many youths want to escape economic hardship at home. Asked about his incendiary rhetoric about immigration on the campaign trail, Trump said he had nothing for which to apologize. Buhari was one of the first two African leaders Trump called after he took power, along with South Africa's president. Nigeria is also one of Africa's most troubled nations when it comes to extremism, something Trump addressed when he spoke to reporters during their meeting, saying the extremist group Boko Haram has been a terrible problem for the country. The group launched a violent insurgency in the Northeast 9 years ago with the aim of creating an Islamic State, and tens of thousands of people have been killed. Mass abductions of schoolgirls brought Boko Haram international notoriety, and one faction has declared allegiance to the Islamic State group. Boko Haram is now active in neighboring Cameroon, Niger and Chad, and poses one of the most severe security threats to West Africa's vast Sahel region. With Nigeria nowhere close to fully defeating Boko Haram despite government claims of having crushed the extremists, Buhari was expected to seek further U.S. military assistance. Already, the Trump administration has made a $600 million deal to supply military planes and security equipment. One that was stalled under the Obama administration because of allegations that Nigeria's military has been involved in human rights, including rape and extrajudicial killings. Buhari, facing elections early next year, is under pressure to deliver on promises to defeat Boko Haram that helped him win office in 2015 in a rare democratic transfer of power in Nigeria. In addition to seeking greater security collaboration, Buhari and Trump also will discuss ways to enhance the strategic partnership between the two countries and to advance shared priorities, such as promoting economic growth. The Nigerian presidential spokesman, Femi Adesina, said in a statement. Nigerian newspapers report that a team of government officials that traveled to the U.S. ahead of Buhari have signed an agreement to provide 4 companies led by General Electric the opportunity to invest an estimated $2 billion to modernize key railways between Nigeria's commercial hub, Lagos, and the northern city of Kano, and between Port Harcourt in the oil-rich Niger Delta and the northern city of Maiduguri, the birthplace of Boko Haram. China, the top investor in Nigeria, already is deep into similar infrastructure work in the country. Officials in Buhari's delegation were also trying to strike a deal with U.S. aircraft manufacturer Boeing for a new state-owned airline project that Nigeria's junior aviation minister, Hadi Sirika, has said will be the largest in Africa. Nigerian officials were also expected to explore financing arrangements with the Export-Import Bank of the United States and the U.S. Overseas Private Investment Corporation. Trump noted that the U.S. provides Nigeria with more than $1 billion a year in foreign aid and wants Nigeria to take down trade barriers in return. We think that we are owed that, Trump said, adding that the U.S. will invest in Nigeria if they can make a more level playing field on trade.